first vid though we got from something sinister, horrors of unidentified people. Oh shit, unidentified people though. Mm, let's check it out. Let's check it out.
June 5th, 2014. The Wisconsin snow has come and gone. Summer is now in full swing, and maintenance is about to take place along this unassuming roadway. Unbeknownst to individuals traveling back and forth on the road each day, this roadway has a dark secret. As the maintenance crew slowly covers each mile, one anonymous worker in particular stumbles across a peculiar sight. Sitting in a patch of tall grass next to the roadway are two suitcases. Unsure of what to do, the maintenance worker grabs each suitcase and drags it to the side of the road before continuing his work. These two suitcases would remain there for some time. But as the summer sun continued to beat down on either piece of luggage, their contents would soon be revealed.
Ooh. It probably started to smell or some shit.
One of the cars
no.
passing by alerted the local police station about the seemingly random luggage on the side of the road. By the time officers would arrive, both of the suitcases were covered in flies. And though it was initially thought that the contents might belong to a decomposing animal, this...
like, when flies come near, that means something died, bro. That shit is not like...
This was not the case. Sitting in each of the suitcases were human remains.
Oh shit.
And these were just the start of a deep and disturbing mystery.
Oh shit. That's not good.
I stumbled across this story the other night while scrolling on the Unidentified Wiki website. As the homepage states, the wiki was created for the purpose of spreading the word about individuals who were at one point unable to be identified.
Oh wow.
The wiki is home to thousands of links containing some of the darkest stories I have ever read.
Oh.
Stories of people who had their life cut short. Each page is like a small time capsule containing the life details of an individual who is no longer with us. And though the circumstances behind these cases vary widely, from murder to someone seemingly disappearing without a trace, there is a variable that can be found
Taking my
in
socks off,
many
yeah.
of these stories.
Well, I have 2 layers of socks on, but it don't matter.
I'm sure I'm not your introduction into the world of forensic facial reconstruction, but it's something that can't be ignored.
Holy fuck. You don't look real. And that might sound disrespectful, but like, come on, bro. You do not look real. Like you look like a doll. Like real life, like a real life doll.
When talking about unidentified individuals, most of these older reconstructions are downright haunting. And there was actually one that was created following the discovery of the 2 suitcases on the side of the Wisconsin roadway. It's one that you've probably seen before. As investigators began combing through the remains found inside the suitcases, they soon found themselves in a situation. They knew that the individual that had been stuffed inside was a female. And despite the severe stages of decomposition, they were able to find that the woman had some distinctive tattoos. Unfortunately, these were the only identifying characteristics, and though the attempts to identify the woman would continue, she would ultimately be labeled as a Jane Doe. That's actually somewhat of a common thing for the Unidentified Wiki website. Some individuals are found so far beyond the point of any discernible physical identification that the only defining characteristic they have is the clothing that they were found For example, this page
That's
dedicated
crazy.
to a Jane Doe from Chicago shows a dirty t-shirt in place of a portrait of the individual or reconstruction. Pages like this are as equally disturbing to me as the reconstructions.
Then the
I'm
only
not
thing you could be identified by is just your clothes, not even your face and nothing. Like, what would y'all like? Like, how would y'all want y'all people to like describe y'all as if y'all was to like, how would y'all want y'all people to describe you if you went missing? I
imagine
wonder.
living an
They could
entire
probably
life
find you.
only to be remembered by the clothing you were wearing at the time of your death. If you've been on this side of the internet for a while, you might be familiar with the following facial
Um, I think
reconstruction photo.
I think I remember that.
This eerie photograph stems from this particular case and was created with the hope of identifying the Wisconsin Jane Doe found in the suitcase on the side
Yo,
of the road.
nigga.
Photos
No,
like
that's
these
not.
are
That don't look
always
like her.
very uncomfortable to look at. While
That's
there are
unsettling,
many
bro.
methods of facial reconstruction, I find that older replicas like this have that definitively creepy feel.
Oh my
In
god.
this case, the facial reconstruction was designed to exaggerate particular features on the Jane Doe, such as an apparent overbite, thin nose, and bony cheeks. But on top of this unsettling appearance, it's haunting to look at this photo and know the circumstances around its creation. Among
Oh
the
fuck.
Jane Doe's remains, investigators found black plastic garbage bags and rope tucked inside the suitcase,
Mm-hmm.
leading them to believe that the events leading up to this woman's death were quite intentional. Whoever had left her there on the side of the road had done so with the hope of her never being found.
But how the fuck
But
I drink
as
coffee
the
and I'm tired?
investigation
I don't know.
continued,
Well, I'm not tired. I
individuals
just
sifting through the contents of the
I don't know.
suitcase made a
No, I did get
terrifying
1 hour of sleep
discovery.
though, y'all.
These suitcases didn't just contain
So
the
we gonna
remains
bust
of
these
one
videos out
individual, but two.
and then
It's hard to say exactly what Laura Simonson's intentions were that night.
okay.
When looking at recovered photos of Laura, she appears to have a certain sadness behind her eyes.
I can see.
According to Laura's family, she had dealt with mental health struggles throughout most of her life. She was 37 years old, divorced, and looking for companionship.
Damn.
At some point
Just feel
prior
lonely.
to November 3rd, Laura had been exploring various dating websites on the internet. One of these was known as collarme.com.
Real shit though. Like now, and this goes for everybody. Like if you seeing this, bro, do not go on dating websites or don't try to find a partner on dating websites. Please always either try to find somebody, hey, through Instagram or the best possible thing is through in person because you never know what a person's intentions is. Even that shit can happen even in person. The person you meet might be just somebody just a lunatic, but never trust somebody through a dating website. Please never trust somebody through a dating website. It is bad for you, extremely bad.
It's difficult to go into detail regarding the purpose of this website. It was designed for adults who had particular interests regarding intimacy and pain. That's probably the best way I can put it.
That's kinky shit. Sometimes people be kinky as fuck, man, and I don't understand how they can do it. Like some people might like being burned while they getting yeah. What's up with that, bro? Like you gotta chill. You gotta chill. You gotta chill, youngin.
As Laura continued to explore this website, she came across one profile in
You gotta chill, youngin. Please.
particular. The bio read, seeking a long-term 24/7 slave for absolute ownership or slavery. The profile belonged to an individual named Mr. Handcuffs.
What the fuck? And she texting him. See, now that's a bit of predicament. She didn't deserve, whatever happened to her, but it's like you went out seeking that. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you talking to Mr. Handcuffs? And he talking about he want a slave, a complete ownership 24/7. What's going on, man? Freaky ass nigga.
Laura and Mr. Handcuffs would begin talking online through email.
And she texting him.
Transcripts of their conversations reveal that Laura was aware of Mr. Handcuffs' intentions.
What?
He didn't just want to talk to her online. He wanted to meet her. They talk in detail about how, should Laura want to be with him 24/7, she will have to find a way to disappear from her day-to-day life.
What the fuck?
This unfortunately meant leaving behind her children.
Wow.
Laura would eventually agree to meet Mr. Handcuffs in a hotel
That's the
in
most
Minnesota.
dumbest shit you could do.
This hotel was hundreds of miles away from Laura's home in Wisconsin. But despite all of these red flags, Laura would be seen via surveillance camera checking into the hotel with Mr. Handcuffs on November 2nd.
Okay.
This would be the last footage recorded of Laura before her death.
Wow.
The exact details of what went on inside that Minnesota hotel room remain a mystery. What we do know is that Laura died from asphyxiation.
What is that?
In recovered footage taken from the hotel.
Asphyxiation? Hold on, let me see what it is. Asphyxiation. Okay. Asphyxiation is a life-threatening condition caused by severe oxygen. Oh, wait, she got strangled. Okay.
Hotel surveillance cameras. Investigators got their first look at Mr. Handcuffs. The man appeared to be in his 50s, and strangely enough, he is checking out of the hotel alone. As the surveillance photos progress, we get a look at the man using a cart to transport a suitcase to his vehicle. With the information from the hotel in Minnesota, it wouldn't take long for police to match.
Well, we know what the fuck in them suitcases.
Match the identity of the man seen in the footage to that of Steven Zellick, a former police officer
Mr.
with
Handcuffs.
a history of violence.
A former police officer.
How did you come to know her?
Well, just online.
We're just here to try to see if we can get any info. You knew her.
Well, and I cringe. I understand there was some. I didn't know her. I mean, that's even stretching it a bit. I don't really know her.
And you indicated that she did want to try to meet.
I think she wanted to meet. I think there was some inference in conversation, mostly on her part. But I had no intention of meeting.
You had no intention of meeting?
No.
Why?
Okay, if you didn't have no intentions of meeting, then you a grown ass man. Or you didn't say no. But in your bio, or what you wanted was 24/7 ownership and all this and that. Kiki man. So what are you talking about you didn't want to meet? And you can't say you had no intentions of strangling her. And you better not say she requested it. Who the fuck requests being strangled? Who does that?
Just because it was really just interesting, fun, recreation, conversation online.
In this interview, Mr. Handcuffs, or Steven, denies knowing anything about Laura or her death. His story, however, wouldn't align with the aforementioned transcripts recovered from the Collar Me website. These were tied directly to his personal email. Steven would later admit to Laura's murder, but stated that he didn't do it intentionally. In interviews with investigators, Steven would tell them that Laura's death was an accident and that he eventually got to a point where he blacked out and couldn't help himself. But there was...
Does that really just happen though? Like, does do people really just black out? Well, yeah, I think that really does happen. Cause well, I don't know what made him black out, but you know how people just sometimes they just lose their fucking mind and they just snap. It's like when somebody's being pushed constantly. This can be at work. This can like bro work like that. Do y'all remember that girl, that McDonald's girl? She killed her boss or her manager because she pissed her off that day. Like I mean, that was it. Like that was the last straw, and she died. People can really just fucking just lose their marbles.
Still an unanswered question. Who was the Jane Doe in the other suitcase?
This shit. So
how did
get
she
this
meet
picture
the
away
same
from
fate
me.
as Laura? Just a little bit of clarification
That shit so
in
unhinged.
terms of the timeline here.
Freaking me the fuck out.
Both of the suitcases were recovered off the side of the road in June of 2014. And this is interesting because when investigators started doing autopsies and everything, they found out that the Jane Doe had passed away in 2012 and that Laura had passed away in 2013. This, of course, had meant that Stephen had been holding on to the bodies for quite a bit of time before putting them in the suitcases and then dumping them on the side of the road. What exactly happened that year between 2013, when Laura passed away, and 2014, when the suitcases were discovered? As I mentioned before, Stephen served as a police officer prior to his arrest. During this time, other individuals on the police force noticed strange patterns of inappropriate behavior between Officer Stephen and various women. This included Stephen stalking and harassing a hairdresser from a local salon, as well as attending exotic dance clubs while still in his police uniform.
Oh,
but
shit.
These offenses weren't enough to get Stephen kicked off of the police force.
Why not?
On one night in particular,
oh well, he probably can like cover it up.
Witnessed something.
He probably could cover it up and say, "Well, I'm not stalking her. It's an investigation." Well, no, you can't say that because you gotta show like evidence of like why you investigating this person and why you doing this and that. So no man.
Terrifying. After hearing the sound of someone screaming, they watched as a barely dressed woman fled from Stephen's house and into oncoming traffic.
Ooh.
The woman, as it would later be revealed, was a worker at one of the previously mentioned dance clubs. This disturbance would ultimately lead to
Stephen resigning
from the force and taking a job as a security officer. Recovered body cam footage from the inside of Stephen's house gives us an idea of the type of conditions he was living in prior to his arrest. His home was in a state of disarray. Police would seize all of Stephen's personal devices and would begin searching for evidence against him. This would reveal that Stephen continued meeting with
I'm still here. I'm gonna get my charger from
all the way up until June of 2014. One of the women that Stephen met was our Jane Doe.
Bro, this picture is freaking me the fuck out.
The woman stuffed in the suitcase alongside Laura would eventually be identified through her dental records. Strangely enough, they belonged to a 19-year-old girl whose family was desperate to find her.
19-year-old?
Believe it or not, prior to confirming the Jane Doe's identity via dental records, the family searching for her actually saw the facial reconstruction and knew it was her. When referencing actual photos taken of her prior to her death, there is an odd resemblance. The girl in these photos is Jenny Gomez, someone who Stephen would plead guilty to killing. According to Jenny's family, she had last been seen in Cottage Grove, Oregon, prior to moving.
Sorry, y'all. Fucking TikTok, man. Like, TikTok just be like, it just be tweaking. Shut up, nigga.
When Jenny stopped communicating with her family, they had assumed that it was because she was busy or caught up in this move. But unfortunately, she had been dead for some time. Her cause of death, like Laura, would later be determined to be asphyxiation. According to the Unidentified wiki belonging to Jenny, Stephen was sentenced to 35 years in prison for what he had done to her.
That's all you get? 35 years? That's all? Nigga, this nigga life. 35 years? Come on, bro.
On top of this, Stephen would also receive 25 years for what he had done to Laura,
this nigga
resulting in a total of 70 years in prison.
Well, that's not
Given
bad.
Stephen's age of 64, he will be
that nigga
the
dead.
rest of his life.
Oh yeah, that nigga dead. We did.
Really quickly, before we get into the next video, I just want to say something real quick. I realized that with the amount of content nowadays, not only just like on YouTube, but like TV shows, movies, music, there is literally so much out there to consume. So I guess the fact that you have taken the time to watch this video, my video, in particular, really means a lot to me. And if you've made it this far into the video and you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, please consider subscribing to Something Sinister for more content like this. And, sort of having worked around in the true crime scene for the amount of time that I have, I've visited the Unidentified wiki website quite a few times. And this next story that we're about to talk about comes from...
Sorry about that, y'all. Father wanted me, so sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. We're gonna cut that out in the video. We're gonna cut that out. All right, let's go back.
That I have. I've visited the Unidentified wiki website, sort of having worked around in the true crime scene for the amount of time that I have. I've visited the Unidentified wiki website quite a few times. And this next story that we're about to talk about comes from my direct experiences with the website itself.
Okay.
When visiting the Unidentified wiki homepage, you'll be met with a few guides, as well as policies regarding the use of the website. But in all my time visiting the Unidentified wiki, I've always been met with the following haunting image. This candid photograph appears to have been taken while the girl was in the middle of laughing. And though this particular version of the image has been enhanced using AI, it's pretty clear that the original photograph was most likely taken decades before.
I can see his little enhanced AI.
This girl has always appeared on the homepage for me. In my mind, she's sort of become the mascot or face of the Unidentified wiki.
Okay.
When I think of the website, I think of this picture. But prior to this, I had no idea who this person was or anything about her story. That was about to change. This story, like the previous one, starts with a road. At around 9:30 in the morning on November 1st, an anonymous truck driver found himself in a peculiar situation. As he was driving, he noticed something strange resting along the side of the road. Confused, he pulled his truck aside and walked over to the object. To his horror, it was a girl. Needless to say, by the time the trucker found her, she was not in good condition.
Damn.
Not only were police and investigators unable to identify her, but with no biological evidence recovered from her body, they had no immediate leads as to who could have done this in the first place.
So she was dismembered,
right?
right?
Distinguishing features were a necklace the girl was wearing around her neck and a bite mark on her shoulder.
What the fuck? Who bit her? So now you just biting shit. Now you just biting your victims. What the fuck is going on? What? See, nowadays we real life have serial killers, but it's way easier to catch a serial killer now than it was back then. If you was a serial killer back then, you can get away with shit. It's almost easy to like impossible to get caught. Feel what I'm saying? But nowadays, oh hell no. You can caught. But it's like, bro, how do you just like, I don't know. how do shit just like happen like this? Like how do something just happen like this? Really want to know like how something happen like this.
Autopsies later on estimated that the girl most likely came from a middle class background. But aside from these small details, no one was able to successfully determine who this girl was or how she wound up on the side of I 45.
All right.
In the years following her discovery, the Walker County Sheriff's Office commissioned the following sketches in an effort to identify the girl. In contrast to the construction based on Jenny Gomez, these illustrations are much less disquieting to look at. They show a seemingly normal young girl with brown hair and hazel or brown eyes. But the identity of this girl would remain a mystery until the emergence of the internet. With sites like Unidentified Wiki bringing attention to these long forgotten cases, this face would be seen by a much larger number of people. And in 2021, a breakthrough occurred.
Oh,
For the
shit.
longest time, this girl was
the internet is a really like it's really like a good place. Like the internet is really a good place because certain shit that can never be spoken about or just forgotten can be brought up again, and it makes it more to where it gets attention for something to happen, for people to find out about it. And like this, they forgot about the case or whatever, they shared it online, and now niggas is back on the trail of it. So it's like, okay, what can we do about it?
is thought to have been one of the four victims of an individual referred to as the I 45 killer. This was
Yo, quick break. If you are enjoying the video and you messing with my takes or how I commentate throughout the video, and my reactions, you feel me? Make sure you subscribe to Remy Boy Reacts and like the video, share with some people that might find me interesting to watch. And let's get back to the video.
someone who had formed a habit out of dumping their victims along the interstate. After all, the individuals who are referred to as the Harris County Jane Does were found on the side of the road in a state eerily similar to that of the girl. Not to mention, each of the victims were estimated to have been killed in October and November of 1980. It was believed that all of the victims tied to this case were young people hitchhiking on the side of the road, only to be picked up by the I 45 killer and never seen alive again. So it would make sense that this girl had potentially suffered a similar fate. But as it turns out, this theory wasn't entirely the case.
I don't know, like hitchhiking is such like a that's one of the most dangerous shits you can do. Hitchhiking with a random nigga that's picking you up. If if the only way I'm hitchhiking is if it's a girl. But nah, I feel like girls are less likely to do something to you. But trust me, I'm not hitchhiking with nobody old. Like look like in their mid 40s, 50s. Yeah, something ain't right. Like you really gotta have your badge scanner unlocked. Your badge scanner can tell everything from the whole shit.
Othram Inc.,
You know he a
a
weirdo.
corporation dedicated to resolving unsolved murders and disappearances, would be the ones to find the true identity of this girl. Prior to her burial, tissue samples were
That
taken
just scared me
in
a little
order to
bit. I don't know
create
why
a
the rain
genetic
just scared me.
profile for the victim. This ultimately led to the discovery that the girl in this photo was 14-year-old Sherry Ann Jarvis.
Sherry Ann
Sherry
Jarvis.
had run away from home that November in 1980.
Wow.
She had been placed under state custody and had written a letter to her mother explaining that she was frustrated by this. It's largely accepted that this is what caused her to run away. At some point during this escape, she found herself on I-45.
Not gonna lie, low key, she got herself. She got herself. She got herself in that predicament. She got herself off. Real shit. Like, why? Like, sometimes y'all, you don't need to run the fuck away from home. Because sometimes, even though your home might not be a safe place, it is the only safe place you got from other people. You got weirdos. You got sex traffickers. You got niggas that kill. All that, bro. Don't run away, bro. That shit not good.
There are a number of theories
It
as
just
to
it
who
just
is
get it
responsible
just
for
gets you into
Sherry's
deeper
death.
shit.
These include infamous serial killer Henry Lee Lucas, who had been in the same area at the time. This theory, however, would eventually be abandoned when it was found that the bite mark located on Sherry's shoulder didn't match up with Henry's dental profile. The truth is, to this day, we don't really know who is responsible for Sherry's death.
What?
It's highly suspected that she was
We still. Oh shit, my bad. We still don't know, y'all.
picked up by some sort of serial killer of some sort, but we don't really know.
Look,
It's
no,
interesting
never
to
mind. It's
me
not.
that,
It's probably
without the push
probably it's
from
not that easy to get caught.
individuals, on
Fuck.
the internet, stories like Sherry's might remain unsolved to this day. If you visit the Identified Index on the website, you can get an idea of how many individuals have been identified in this year alone. It's a staggering amount.
Jeez, damn, Richard Fannels. This happened in 2025. Jeez, I pray this don't happen. There's nothing like this happens to me, bro. I pray.
And that doesn't even take into account all the previous years that this wiki has been available for. I do want to warn you though, if you are planning on visiting this website, there's a lot of dark stuff on there. But if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see some more stories taken from the Unidentified Wiki website, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below.
Okay.
As always, thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video, and if you enjoyed it, please make sure to subscribe to Something Sinister. And I will see you in the next video.
Thank you. WV.